Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Factorio. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because things are going relatively well here. Admittedly, we don't have much, so there's not much that could go wrong, but things are going relatively well nonetheless. Now, with that said, my first order of business is going to be to come up to these two burner mining drills here, because I'd like to pick them up and grab all of the coal that they currently have. I'd also like to go ahead and put them back down, just in this spot here. So they're going to just keep doing what they were doing, just in a different location. I want to throw all of the fuel that they have into, or half of the fuel into that one, so they're going to start fueling each other again. And what I'm going to do with the rest of the coal that we have is throw it into the boiler, so that the boiler doesn't run out anytime soon. Now, one thing I would like to do today as well is actually set up an automated line of coal coming down to the boiler there, so that we're never going to have to worry about refueling that manually. I'm also thinking it might be an idea to place these power lines a little bit differently, just in more of an angle, I guess, than in a straight series of lines the way I have done there. So if I pick this one up and I delete this one, I'm thinking just sort of doing this might be an idea, so that we do have the connection that we had. It just goes at an angle, because why not? So let's just move this all across a little bit like that. Then I want to move this across just a little bit to, oh, that actually has to be in that position. Oh, that's a bit of a pain. Let's just throw that into that spot. Seems totally fine. Then we'll bring this across a little bit. We're going to bring this across to there. And we're going to need to get a power line over here shortly, because I do want to start replacing these two burner mining drills with electric mining drills. In fact, I can make the two drills that we're going to need. So what we'll do is pick up this burner mining drill. We'll also come over here and do a similar thing. And in just a moment, we're going to be able to go ahead and place down the two electric drills. So there's one of them made already, which is going to go just there. And this one is going to go just about there, and that should be totally fine. So I want to connect that up to the power grid, so that can go into that spot. In fact, it might be better throwing this just to about there, now that I think about it, because what I can do is continue this conveyor belt down a little bit and get more of these drills a little bit later on. And then we're also going to go ahead and do a little bit of a similar setup just there. So we'll put that into that spot, and we'll also go ahead and do something like that, so we can expand upwards a little bit and get more coal when we happen to need it. Now, that's obviously a little bit messy there. It could be a little bit better looking, but I think we'll be okay. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. In fact, I think I can move that down a little bit, and I might be able to move this. Yeah. Then maybe get rid of you. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that totally works. That's totally fine. Does what it needs to do. No worries. Okay. So now that we have the two electric drills, we don't need to worry about fueling them again. At the moment, the only thing we desperately need to fuel is this furnace and also this boiler. So I think what might be an idea is actually going ahead and getting more iron plates, and then making maybe some more electric drills, or alternatively, we go ahead and make a lab. Now, a lab is needed for research, and research is something we're not doing currently because I'd like to automate the process from the get-go. But this is the research screen, and the first thing we're going to want to research is going to be automation, because that's going to give us the long-handed inserter, which is an inserter with longer range, and also the assembling machine, which is, you know, the tier of research is called automation. This is the first step towards automating production, because the assembling machine will let you make anything that requires two components to be made. So I can set up that machine to automatically make iron gear wheels, or electric circuits, or science packs, which are needed by the lab to do research. So I can set up a system which is going to let me further, I guess, what's the word I'm looking, automate, I guess, all of my research. which seems like a pretty good idea. Now, I'm going to make 10 of those science packs just there because I only need 10 of them to get automation. So this is going to go there. Actually, no, that's not a good place for research. Let's try and put my research thing up this way a little bit, possibly. That might be an easier place to put it. I don't know if that is necessarily a good place to put it. I think what I'll do for the time being is I will just put it up sort of here, sort of out of the way a little bit. And what I can also do is throw in 5 of those red science packs. Now, this is going to need an electrical connection, which is totally fine. Let's just go ahead and throw that to that spot there. So that's going to start using those science packs to do research towards automation. If you look up here in the top right corner, you'll see the progress. And it is going to be 1 more science pack that needs to go in there. And that's going to work towards automation, which is going to be absolutely beautiful. Now, the next thing that I think we might want to do is actually look into getting more iron production, because there's not a lot of it at the moment. I mean, it's pretty good iron production, but we could definitely have more iron production. So I might look into that in just a second. But to be honest, I think I would actually rather set up the... No, I can't set up the conveyor belts to bring coal down to the boiler because I want to get a splitter first. And we don't have the splitter unlocked. I think the splitter is going to come from... What exactly? Where do we get the splitter? Splitter comes from logistics. So the next thing we'll want is logistics, because we can get the fast inserter as well. We can get underground conveyor belts and also the splitter. Now, the splitter is basically going to split anything on one conveyor 50-50 across 2 conveyor belts. So one conveyor belt comes in, it goes to the splitter, which is a 2-tile wide machine, and, you know, if 2 things come into it, one's going to go onto this side, one's going to stay on the side that it was on originally. You'll see it when we get it. We'll get it shortly, and it should be totally okay. Now, let's have a little look at power and make sure everything's okay. We are producing enough. We're totally fine. So no worries at all there. We could definitely look into expanding power production in a little bit, but for the time being, I guess we should probably look into getting some automated copper production. Even if it is just over here, I still feel like automated copper production could be a good idea. Although, oh, hello, there we go. Not bad. Let's get logistics on the go, which means I'm going to need to get more of the science packs, which needs copper as well. Yeah, we definitely need to get copper production on the go. So let's get more of the transport belts being made there. And whilst those are going ahead, I'll start tearing down this forest. Because what I can do is bring some conveyor belts over this way. And we'll have the copper smelting and refining and all of that stuff happen sort of over, I guess, towards my factory. Because that's kind of what we're trying to make here, isn't it? We're trying to make a factory that does everything, which is a little bit silly if you think about it, because factories are usually very specialized places, and in Factorio, they're not. It literally is a factory of all trades. But that's fine. I mean, it makes for a good game, so I guess that's all that really matters. I don't think anyone's playing Factorio and going, my immersion's been ruined. So we're probably all right there. Right, so is this a straight path through? No. I really want to get a straight path through here, because I want to make a nice looking conveyor belt. If I have it snaking across the place, it's going to be really hard to keep track of later down the line. So, we're definitely going to want a nice straight path through here. And to be fair, I mean, I say I'm a little bit worried about, you know, having it snake back and forth. To be honest, eventually we're probably going to want to tear everything down anyway. Like, that's one thing that surprised me about this game was, when I first played it on stream, everyone was saying, look, it's all well and good that you want to make this all look interesting right now, but you are going to tear this all down in like 20 minutes because it's your first time playing and that's what you do. So I don't know if I really need to worry all that much, to be honest. But we'll see. Let's get these trees done so I can bring this conveyor belt through here just like so. I put a couple down there where I shouldn't have put them. There we go. Oh, I have to get rid of that tree as well, seriously. There we go. Then bring it over this way. Let's actually stand on the conveyor and it will move me along as we go. So then this tree needs to go. And that seems fine. That's going to come straight through it. Oh, no, it's not. Let's get rid of you. And let's also get rid of you. And it's going to come right up to the side of the coal field there, which is totally fine. So that's going to start producing copper. It's going to bring it over this way. I am going to need to go ahead and get more iron, though, so I can make more of the conveyor belts. And I think once I have a supply of copper coming over in this direction, I'm going to try and increase the amount of iron plates and copper plates that we're producing. So we're going to need more furnaces for sure. Now let's head up this way. And let's start putting these conveyor belts to some good use. Because I want them to come right over to... Oh, I've just realized something. If I bring these conveyor belts into the coal field a little bit, and bring them down through it... Now for one, that picked up some coal, which is interesting. But what I'm curious to see is... Yeah. So if I put some coal... If I put some electric mining drills on this side of the conveyor belt, as long as I have the copper mining drills on this side down here, we're going to have copper and coal on the same conveyor, but on different sides. So they're not going to back each other up. Which is really good, because it means that I don't need multiple sources for... I don't need multiple conveyors that are going to converge into one location. So that seems... like a reasonable thing to do to begin with, so we're gonna absolutely be doing that. Now let's bring this down to about this spot. Now this is gonna get a little bit tricky because we're gonna have to sort of weave these all together in one way or another. But we'll see what we can do. We'll absolutely see what we can do. I think for the time being, what I would like to do actually is pick up these inserters, because I really don't want them working right now. I want to pick up the furnace and the chest and this as well. I'm going to pick up the electricity poles too, so I can get an idea of what's going on here. And I'm also going to pick up these ones as well, so I can have a nice empty space to work in. Let's go ahead and make 6 stone furnaces as well, so I can see how many we're going to have. We have 8 of them. That's actually okay, because what I'll do is I will have... I guess iron production on one side, maybe iron production here, or maybe I can try and put them together. I don't know if there's a lot of sense in doing that, but let's see. Can I make more of these? Yes, I can. Beautiful. So let me do something like this, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's fine. What I'd then like to do is 1, 2... and then double it up like this. So what we're going to do is... Oh, no, that makes no sense. No, that does make sense. That's fine. No, that's totally fine. Because what I want to do is leave a gap on this side and do a furnace, a furnace, a furnace, and a furnace. And then this is going to be for copper. This is going to be for iron. They're going to feed out under these 2 conveyor belts, which are going to have inserters at the bottom here, which are going to dump them each into different chests, which might not seem like the most sensible thing to do, but as, you know, as basics go, this is going to be totally fine. So that's going to dump it into those chests just like that. I don't actually have enough to make more of anything at the moment, which is a little bit worrying, actually. So, for one, let me begin by bringing some of these up this way, so we can hopefully get production on the go again. Chuck that there, chuck that into that spot, and that's going to get coal being produced again. Then I'd like to bring this over this way, just like this, and over to there, into that spot, and I'm actually going to need more of those as well. Man, I kind of need more of everything at the moment. Need more copper. I have copper to smelt, so I might as well do that. We'll throw some wood into there. We'll throw some copper ore into there, and we'll get that smelted so I can make more of these power things, the tower things. Not the towers. What do you call them? For God's sake, electric poles. For some reason, I couldn't think of the word electric pole. Let's make a couple more of those then. And we'll throw this one just into that spot there. So those are going to be producing again, which is totally fine. Let me throw some iron in there and get some coal in that one as well. This one really shouldn't be producing copper, actually. That was the wrong side for that. So let's do it on this side like so, with some coal in that one. Grab some copper from there, grab some iron from there. And we need to basically bring this conveyor over and down here. We do need to get more inserters as well, which is going to take a lot of iron and a lot of copper. But if we're patient, that's not actually going to take that long to produce. So we should be okay. We should be totally okay. You aren't actually producing anything because you need more iron. So I guess I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to grab all of that iron so I can throw it into here. I'll also throw some of it into there to get it produced a little bit quicker as well. We'll grab some coal whilst we're at it. And throw that into there too. So those are producing iron plates. You are getting me the copper plates. And we can get more transport belts whilst we're at it. Now what I'd like to do is start bringing these belts over. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, let's not do that. Let's do it this way. Then have it turn over to here. Then it needs to come down like this. So that's exactly the way I want it to go right there. That's perfect. Let me grab some more plates. Let me grab some more copper. Let me make more transport belts. And we only need a couple more for this side, which is beautiful news. So that's going to go to there. Then on this side, we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to leave the same kind of gap. And we're going to bring it up like this. And then this is going to feed down from this side here. So this should totally work. Then we have a collection of both iron and copper plates in those two chests, which is exactly what I want. So let's grab all of this. Let's make more conveyor belts. I realize I could grab some coal from these guys as well, which I'll totally do. Then I want to maybe bring this back a little bit so we can just make it a little bit neater. So this is going to just come straight down to there. It's going to come across like this and connect up like that. So at this point, all we desperately need are a couple more, maybe even just one electric mining drill and some power conduits. Actually, no, we need 2 electric mining drills and a lot of power conduits to bring the electricity over to here. But once we have that, we're pretty much sorted. And obviously a whole bunch of the inserters as well, but we're nearly there. We're gonna get it. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Let's see then. So I want to go to here. I want to grab those. I want to grab those as well. And I'd actually like to make some inserters so I can get this going. So let me make 4 of them. Let me also make some of the electric poles as well, because those are going to be super useful. So what we'll do is get something like this and this and this and that. Then we need electric poles here to power all of this. So an electric pole there and an electric pole there should be fine. Then do the same just over on this side as well. So one just there and one there. Then we can get rid of this one because it's not entirely needed at the moment. Move this one a little bit so it's more in line with everything. And there we go. So these ones back here aren't currently working. That's actually completely okay, because what we'll do is sort of just get a bunch more of these in here like that. And get some in there like that as well. So those are now automatically producing iron, and it's being produced pretty darn well, if I do say so myself. So there we go. Let's get some iron plates. Let's get some iron plates. Get some iron plates. And let's see. We can make a bunch more inserters, which I'd absolutely like to do, because I'd quite like to get at least iron production going really well here. So let's throw an inserter just there and there, there and there. And that should, by all means, start working pretty darn well. There we go. So that's all working. So that's the iron side working at the moment. We are going to need a bunch more iron to make the other inserters. So let's grab that. We can make 8 of them, which is perfect. And then this side's going to be pretty much good to go as well. It's just going to need the copper and it's going to need the coal. But other than that, it's pretty much sorted. So what we'll do is a similar thing. One and... Oh, we need more of them. Hold on. There we go. They're being produced. So 1 and 2. And 1 and 2. And then the same there and the same there. And those are sorted. So those are going to start working as well. We just have to get ourselves some more iron, actually. There we go. Bit more iron. We can make 1 electric mining drill. That's not really going to be enough, to be honest. So let's grab a bit more iron from here. We can make 2 of them. Perfect. Let me get those made so I can put an electric mining drill just up here. I'm also going to need to get myself some of those. So an electric mining drill is going to go right along here, alongside this conveyor belt. So let's just throw it into that spot. Let's bring... Actually, let's go put the other one down first, and then we'll bring power toward... We'll do the power thing backwards, basically, which will be totally okay. So let's just clear out some of these bits around here to make this a little bit neater looking as well. So clear all of that out. Let's clear out some trees as well, so I can actually see how much copper we're dealing with here. So clear that out as well, and clear these ones out too. Just so I can get an idea of what we're dealing with, like I said. So this can go to that spot, basically. That should be okay. Let's go ahead and start putting the conduits in. So I want one of them to go, honestly, there. Because that's going to be able to power another mining drill. In fact, one there would power several, I think. Yeah, I'll put it there because it still powers that one. And we'll go ahead and bring some... Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Nope, don't do that. Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of that tree so I can put a conduit or a pole just there. And just there. And there. And let's just keep this coming back to about that spot. Let's bring it down this way a little bit. Bring it down this way. Bring it to there. And to there. And I guess we can bring it down to there as well. So this is going to start working. And that's going to start delivering coal to the copper smelting area. Over here, we should have some copper coming over as well, which is absolutely beautiful. They are on different sides of the conveyor belt as well, which is exactly what I wanted them to be. And I'm kind of happy with this. This is pretty good. This is pretty big. Oh, we don't actually have enough copper being produced, do we? Also, this goes too far. I don't want the conveyor belts to go down that far. Yeah, we're going to need more copper. Not copper, iron. We're definitely going to need more iron. I mean, we're going to need more copper later on, but at the moment, it's definitely iron that we're after. So let's get some of that. Let's also get some copper. 1 bit of copper. And let's see, what else can we do here? I mean, we do need to work towards logistics. We haven't done anything with research, which means we do actually need more copper. So maybe we get one more mining thing, one more electric mining drill for the iron and also for the copper. That seems like it might be a pretty good idea. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. We do have the production going on here, though, which is absolutely beautiful to see. So let's see. I can make 1 electric mining drill there. Let's grab that, and I can make another one. And what we'll do is just come over here. We can put down 1 electric mining drill just there. We can get a couple more bits of conveyor belts there. And that should be good. That will increase the output of iron. Now we want to go and do the same thing with the copper because I don't think there's enough of that coming in. And then we're pretty much sorted for this little tiny stage in the grand scheme of automation. So chuck that in there. Chuck those in there. And there we go. Not bad at all. We've got our power poles going along there. We have the conveyor belts coming the whole way along here. They pick up some coal over there. And this is pretty good. I'm actually really happy with this. So, what do we need to get a bunch of these? We need copper plates and iron gear wheels. And we need 20 science packs for logistics. So if I right-click this, it'll make 5. So if I right-click it 4 times, that'll get us the amount of red science packs that we need for logistics, which actually means I can go ahead and get the splitter. And it also means I can get the... That's my phone ringing. Beautiful. Okay, so where was I? Logistics. We need to get logistics. So we'll go ahead and get the 20 red science packs that we need for logistics. We'll dump those all into the lab in one go. And hopefully that's going to do some good stuff. Now, I can't help but notice that the last furnace on each side isn't really getting all that much love, which is a little bit annoying because it just sort of makes it a little bit irrelevant. Like the iron ore or the copper ore on this side is just getting picked up by the first 3. It never gets to the last one. So maybe we only need 3 furnaces for... Oh no, it did get some there. Okay, fair enough. Maybe it gets it occasionally. Are we okay with power at the moment? That's a good question. Ah, no, we're not. We are not producing enough. So we actually do need to get more power, which is totally fine. That'll be why some of these aren't working all that efficiently. That's totally okay. Let's see then. So we need to get more boilers, basically, which means we need to get more stone. So we need to run the whole way over here and get ourselves some stone so that we can get everything working efficiently, because we need more boilers. I think I mentioned in the previous episode, I don't know, but people commented it anyway, saying that the golden ratio is one sort of intake pipe to 14 boilers to 10 engines. People were mentioning that anyway. Can I just grab everything from this? There we go. All right, can I just get everything from it there? Okay, so I can make a few boilers. Can I get 13 of them? 1, 2, that's 10 and 1, 2, 3. But then I can only make 1 steam engine. Let's do that anyway. Let's get this all on the go. It's going to be a bit of a hefty project. I really should get an automated thing to start bringing stone over my way as well. That would be really nice to have just a regular supply of stone. Not that it's an urgent thing, not that I urgently need stone, but it would just be really convenient. It also seems like we might be out of electricity because we're probably out of coal down this way, which we absolutely are. Let's go ahead and throw some coal into there. And, I mean, we need to tear this apart for a minute anyway, so let's just tear it apart for a second. Let's go ahead and figure this out then. In fact, I realize I also kind of need some pipes. So give me some pipes there and get those made. And what I'd like to do is go ahead and do something like, oh, not that, like this and like this. I think this is what I need to do. Then I want to grab these and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the same there. And from this point we do... Now, what way do these work? I think that, and then the engines go on there and there. So that'll be fine for the time being. Then the idea is that we bring a conveyor belt up the middle that would have coal on it, and then we'd have a bunch of the inserters that would feed all of these engines, all of these boilers with coal. So that should be totally fine. That's maybe not in the best spot because it means this whole, construction's going to have to be in this space. So I might move this around at some point, but that should be okay for the time being. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw some coal into there. And coal into there. And also throw that to there. So that should be fine. That should be enough electricity, and it absolutely is. So that should be everything working nice and efficiently. We should see these guys producing a decent amount of iron. Copper is being produced really nicely as well. Let's go and grab some of the plates that we have in here. And I guess we could go ahead and... We actually do have the 20 red science packs, so I can throw that in here and work towards logistics. So if I throw those in, we'll get logistics soon enough. And what we'll do is, I guess, have a bunch of different lines that are going to Oh, hold on a minute. I've just realized that it might be a good idea to try and feed coal to all of these lines a little bit differently. Because I've realized that we, for one, don't need these bits of conveyor here. But what if we change this about a little bit for a second? So if I bring this over to here, like that, and I have it line up with that bit of conveyor over there. So it's going to go there and there. Then it needs to come across this way. So like that. What if the coal is going to come out of there? It's going to go into a splitter and then feed off to both different to the two sides here. So it would sort of come down and go that way and come down and go that way. Because it means we would only need one line of coal, and we can have a whole bunch of the electric mines up here feeding that one line with coal, which is going to split off to these two different locations. That's not entirely necessary at the moment, and I don't think that's something we would want permanently, but it definitely seems like an idea. And it would mean that we don't need to be mining coal up here as well as down here. We just need the one line. Because it also means I could set up a separate line, which would be feeding only this with coal. That doesn't seem like a terrible idea to me. It really doesn't. We just don't have the splitters at the moment, which means it's not entirely possible. But it's something I think I'm going to try and do. Let me try and make some conveyor belts there. Because I want that to feed in like... Oh, Jesus, that's not working. Stop, 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 stop. Let me pick all of that up for a second. Let me delete you. And let me put that back there. So we'll just put these lines like this for the time being. And we'll do this as well. And that kind of thing too. So that's going to feed that way. That's going to feed that way. We can still sort of do this just with two different coal mining things, I guess. So let me just remove you for a second. And let me also remove you for a second. And delete these things for a second as well. Because I like the idea of trying this. So I want one coal mining thing there, I guess. For the time being, possibly. Or there. Yeah, there for the time being, and then one just opposite like that. Then I can get rid of these conveyors here. Just like that. This one can actually be neatened up a little bit as well, which is beautiful news. I just like the idea of trying to make this look a little bit nicer. I know that's completely unnecessary, but it's going to make it easier to keep track of everything a little bit later down the line. So do that kind of thing. Bring some conveyor lines down like this, and down like this. Then go ahead and grab the coal from there, I do believe. Oh, what did I do? Cannot connect rolling stock, not in vehicle. I don't know what I pressed there, I'm going to be honest. Let's do that as well. Let me grab that coal because it's not supposed to be there. There we go. So those feed in exactly the way I want them to. Ideally, what we would do is have just one line up here and then split it with an actual splitter a little bit later down the line as well, but we'll do that shortly. Let's, for the time being then, go ahead and do this. And also do... let's see, can I get this to connect in a nice way? Not entirely convinced I can. Can I move this up to there and throw that into that spot? Yes, I can. There we go. So those are going to go ahead and feed all of this, and it just looks better for the time being. It's easier to sort of keep track of what's going on. The coal from this side is going to feed onto that side of the conveyor. The coal is still on the same sides of the conveyor belts down here. It just looks better. It just, you know, for my aesthetics and all that, it looks pretty good. I also realize that we could probably get rid of the burner mining drills here. That might be an idea. And it wouldn't necessarily be a terrible one. Because I don't think we need them at the moment. Because I can just sort of run down here and grab coal when I desperately need it. But we'll see in just a little bit what we can do with that. Are we still generating enough electricity? Yes, we are. Beautiful news. You know what? Let's go ahead and build a whole bunch of transport belts here. That should give me 40 of them, I think. I think that'd be 40 transport belts. Because what I want to do is I do want to go ahead and make one more electric mining drill. I want to grab these 2 drills here because we don't really need them. And I want to get, you know, the basics set up for automatically fueling all of this. So this conveyor belt would come right in like this. And then we'd have a bunch of the inserters just there and there. And we would have, let's see, this would go there. Yeah, so that can go there quite nicely. And once we get logistics, we can have a little tunnel. We can tunnel some of the conveyor belts underneath this and bring it all down here. So that's going to work pretty well, actually. Let's bring this to there. Let's just not have that come straight out. Let's have this go to... Let's have this come across a little bit. Just like that. Bring it down a bit as well. Leave a little gap for the tunnel. Disconnect that for a second and bring that down to there. So that's going to work absolutely beautifully. We are going to want to go ahead and just reconnect all of this because I did just, you know, disconnect it quite considerably. So that's all working again. We have logistics, which is beautiful news. Let's see. Can I get this to connect up in any reasonable way? Yes, I totally can. So that's going to go ahead and start working. We can get ourselves the underground belt, which goes like that and like that. And there we go. That's exactly what I want to see. We have a supply of coal going down to the boilers, which, I mean, in here doesn't currently have power, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. But we can do that kind of thing. And we can do that kind of thing. Then if we head around, we can do the same thing on this side with that just there. And that just about there. Oh, the tree's in the way, isn't it? There we go. So right there. So that should work beautifully. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily enough coal to power all of this completely, but it's not bad. That is definitely not bad. So that is... Wow, that's interesting looking. That's quite the bit of automation we've got going on there. Again, this is just basic. I mean, if you know Factorio, then you know that this is remarkably basic. But if you don't, I mean, you ain't seen nothing yet. So, ladies and gents, I reckon I'm going to leave it there for today. I'd say we've done a pretty good job. We've got iron production automated, copper production automated. We've automated the fuel supply to our steam engines. Eventually, I would like to look into solar power. Although, we'll see about that. I don't know if solar power is something we desperately need or anything. So we'll see what happens. Either way, that's going to be it for today. Thank you again for watching. This has been Factorio Part 2. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.